Hey, it's your Book Hound here coming at you with another review. If you like what you see here, hit subscribe. We got great reviews and special offers and stuff coming at you every week, so hope you'll stick with us. But today we're going to talk about The Missing Piece by John Lescroart. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So, Missing Piece is one of the Dismas Hardy novels. It's like the 25th book in the series or something. It's been going on for quite a while. And Dismas Hardy is he's got to be in his late 50s at this point, maybe early 60s. He's a kind of a legendary San Francisco criminal defense attorney who used to be a cop, and he has this little group of friends, unlikely friends, like he's best friends with a former homicide detective, and his law partner is the former district attorney of San Francisco. He's got this law firm. It's kind of a little law firm, almost like a little club where they defend the innocent and so forth. And so, you know, it's the Dismas Hardy novel. This novel in particular focuses on a character named Abe Glitzky, who is Hardy's best friend and a former chief of homicide in the San Francisco Police Department who's retired and now works as a private investigator, mostly for Hardy's firm. Glitzky is half black and half Jewish, and you know, kind of a character. We've seen him in some of the earlier novels, of course. But so at this book takes us into a story where a guy named Paul Riley, who has just been released from prison after 11 years, which he served for the rape and murder of a teenage girl, and he's been let out early through the efforts of something called the Exoneration Project. I don't know if this is a real thing, but there are groups like this that work to get prisoners freed if they feel they've been unjustly convicted, if there's problems with their trials and so forth. And the subtext of the book has a lot to do with whether these kind of programs are a good idea or not. It kind of depends who you ask. If you ask them, they're like, an innocent man has been sent to prison, or at a minimum, a person didn't get a fair trial, so he shouldn't be in prison. If you ask the cops, if you ask the Abe Glitzkys of the world, they're like, no, these programs are terrible. They just put killers back on the street, and they undo all this good police work. And so there's that kind of debate going on. It's almost like an op-ed page going on. But Paul Riley is someone who maybe, you know, had people who wanted to hurt him because he allegedly raped and killed this girl years ago. So the natural suspect is a guy named Doug Rush, who was the father of this girl who was Paul Riley's victim. He's immediately the top suspect, but there's almost nothing to connect him to the crime except that somebody said they saw him, but it's not even clear whether the guy was telling the truth or, you know, Paul Riley's father said, you know, I saw this guy, Doug Rush, you know, it had to be him. And the police go to talk to Doug Rush, and he's very obnoxious to them, mostly because I think he's angry that the justice system let this guy out of prison, and he didn't do it, but he could have done it, and he wished he'd done it, kind of thing. And he doesn't have an alibi. He says, hey, I was riding my motorcycle around the bay, you know, but I can't tell you where nobody can prove where I was. So it looks like he's going to he's going to go to trial for this. He's accused of the murder, and again, it's like there's really almost no evidence, but it's like he could still get convicted. That's another thing. See, Lescroart is very skilled at the legalisms of the system and how the system doesn't work very well. And in this case, he's showing us that someone who, I mean, this could be you or me, like, he says he didn't do it. They can't prove he did it, but there's no way for him to defend himself either. And he could get convicted. So there's that. But then, without spoiling it, you know, Glitzky starts to notice some anomalies about the story and digs into it and figures out that this guy really did have an alibi, but he didn't want to talk about it because it's a secret. And then all of a sudden, this guy, Doug Rush, is dead. He's been murdered. And then it's like really clear that something else is going on here. Now, what that is, I don't want to say. But there's a lot of twists and turns, and Lescroart is talented at, you know, keeping you along for the ride. You know, if you like courtroom thrillers, this is a good one. It's there's a lot of investigations, less about the trial and more about the investigation side of the story. It depends. In some of the Dismas Hardy's books, it's really all about the trial. This is more about the investigation side, and it's more of a mystery. But it's effectively done, and if you like a good courtroom thriller, it's probably for you.